You're welcome back to the AM Club right here on MX24. Yes, my background is looking very, very different, exciting. I think these ads needs to go to my room. Yes, this one will bring me a lot of joy. But you're welcome back to the AM Club right here on MX24. My name is Miriam Udwak Menta. We're about to get into our big conversation for this morning. But before we do that, tired of dealing with messy hair? We've got your solution. Introducing BOC, the new BO16 styling gel is effortless. It effortlessly holds and styles your hair, leaving no white flakes behind. Now, choosing from our different clear or sleek black gel to suit your style, BO16 styling gel because you and your hair deserves the best experience. Express yourself confidently. Available now at your nearest store. Grab yours and style with ease. The GC brand. It's all about you. Now, for our big conversation today is World Art Day. You can only get this from here. You can only get this from here. And we'll be having a conversation with some artists who have been doing an incredible job in this space. So we're giving you three different, if it was in music, we'll say genres. I'm going to ask them what they say in their space. Different type of artists. Okay, I met one recently and I was like, oh my God, some people must actually be God's special children because really and truly the things they do, like even the paintings on the set right now, I'm like, how do you use your brain to do this? You must be God's special child. Okay, well, joining me this morning, my namesake Miriam Ampiel. She is an oil paint artist. I bet you didn't know the same thing like that, so we'll get into that pretty shortly. Then King Solomon is a visual artist, and we have Sage is a creative artist. So we have an oil paint artist, we have a visual artist, and then we have a creative artist. They're going to break down to us what all of that means. Good morning, lady and gentlemen. How are we doing? Good, good? We're good? Awesome. Now let's get straight into it. First of all, I'm going to have you introduce yourself to me. So I'm believing this is Sage. This Sage, right? Yeah. So Sage, explain to me what a creative artist is. What does it mean to be called a creative artist?
Uh, as the name says, creative artist. It's
You should want
someone.
to get close to your microphone, please.
Uh, as the name requires, creative artist. It's someone that uses his creativity to make art.
Oh, it's actually that simple. Okay. Now, for those who actually don't know about this day, and I know some of the things we bring on this show, it's like, oh, I'm hearing this for the very first time. Well, World Arts Day is celebrated every year on April 15th. To promote the development, diffusion, and enjoyment of art. It was established by International Association of Art, a partner of UNESCO, and the date honors the birthday of Leonardo da Vinci. The day recognizes the importance of art in society, how it inspires creativity, preserves culture, encourages expression, and brings people together across different backgrounds. And so that is why we celebrate this day on the 15th of April every single year. It's World Arts Day. And note that this is hinged on, one of the world's greatest artists, Leonardo da Vinci. Now, back into the studio, we're going to be speaking to Miriam is the oil paint artist. I would have asked you a different question, but let's break down to what an oil paint artist is.
Okay. So oil painting is a bit different from acrylic painting.
Yeah.
It's almost the same, but acrylic uses water while oil paint uses turpentine. So that's the difference.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. You're going to break down how that is done. Okay,
Okay,
so you're going to
okay.
hold on for me. Then back to King Solomon. King Solomon is a visual artist. When I was in school, I studied visual art, so I'm believing that's what it is. Explain to me
That's
what.
what it is. Okay, I call myself the visual artist because I deal with the visual. I deal with visual things. When we talk about visual, it means maybe you are looking at something. So I look at things and I draw them.
And draw them.
That's why I call myself a visual artist.
Oh, interesting.
I'm not into performing artist.
So you can look at me and draw
Yeah,
me.
no,
Easy, Carol.
easy.
We're going to
Very
do that today. We're going to do that. Except that me, I can't sit down throughout, so you have to look at me just so I can go home and then you can draw.
I didn't bring my pencils.
You didn't bring your pencils, okay. Anywho, but yes, so we have an oil paint artist here, we have a creative artist here, and we have a visual artist here. Now, for you, a day like this, and I'm going to start with you, Miriam. I asked you your age earlier, Offset, and you were 17.
Yeah, 17.
17-year-old. Which one is your project? This is yours.
Yes.
The one behind me, this big, beautiful art here was put together by the 17-year-old. Tell me when this whole desire or decision to get into artistry work, if that's even the word to use, and then specifically choose oil painting. How did you make
Okay,
all those
so
decisions?
my love for art began when I was 13.
Oh.
Yeah, I started by looking at objects and drawing them at a go. And then I started using charcoal to make portraits, realism and things like that. And then there was this time someone introduced this website to me where you can buy courses. So I checked it out, and the website is called Domestika. I bought an oil painting course from Domestika, and then I started learning how to oil paint. And ever since then, I've been stuck with it because I like how flexible oil paint is. It doesn't dry fast. It's just a cool medium to use.
Yeah? Okay. See, in this world, if you discover what you want to do early, it helps you. Imagine when I was 17, I discovered that I could do something incredibly well. But whilst you were going after this particular dream of yours, did you think about, is this very futuristic? Could this impact my life in the future? Or you were just doing it because it was fun?
I was doing it because I felt like I had to do it. I felt like that's what I'm meant to do.
Okay.
I like doing it because it makes me happy.
Yeah. Now back to my creative artist. Now, when you kicked off this entire desire to, so this, let's show us our work. So this one is Miriam's work. The one on the table, these, there are someone over there. There are someone here with the lady.
Yeah.
Is you.
Yeah.
So this is what you do primarily, like
Yes, but then I do other art. as well.
other arts as well. So it's only fair that you brought this one.
Yeah.
It's really fair that you brought this one. Tell me what this is and how you intended to go after this, your creative art, your creative artistry work, knowing that this is something you're supposed to do.
I would say my creative journey has been lifetime, but I started it like a profession. I would say basically at 2012.
Oh,
Yeah. So I realized I've been working with clay whilst growing up. So why wouldn't I take it further? And I like how very delicate clay can be, and very very flexible
yeah,
and very rigid when it's hard.
yeah.
And I realize it's one of the ancient material that's ever been used from pre-memorial. So why not doing something out of nothing?
Oh,
And clay is being determined as like the next gold. So I really appreciate working with clay.
oh.
It brings me a lot of joy, and I see art to be more or less expressive. More I do it, it just flow naturally.
Okay.
So I love doing it.
Amazing. So all of this is made out of clay.
Yes, please.
So explain to me what we have on the set. Guys, zoom into the art on the table. What do we have over there?
Yeah. So with the one painted black,
Yes.
I title it Depot,
Ah,
which is the one of the let me say fertility culture out here in Ghana,
Yeah.
and I happen to like witness it personally. So
Oh.
I was like, I love my art to be like a storytelling, to hold something strong in terms of like history
Yeah.
and all that. So why not try to perceive everything that I've seen and like depict it in clay?
Indeed.
And with the one being a bit creamy,
Yeah.
let me say earthy color,
Yeah.
that's someone that I actually molded. So it's more or less an identity sort of art.
Okay.
I can basically like mold anyone's face.
So that thing that they will do sometimes when they do HLA, it's like an opposite of what you see. I saw one for Stoneboy. I was like, yo, bro, who is this one that just made the image of someone? So who is that?
It's a little girl I was teaching back at Nubuke and
Oh.
named Zoe.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely. Wow, so you can actually do one of me.
Yes, please.
Look at me and we'll get there. We'll get there. And then I'll come back to my visual artist. What I'm seeing over here, I want to believe because I have seen pencil art before. This is what it is.
Yes, please.
I because someone gave me, a gift of this sort. Tell me what it takes to do something like, because I see this water thing flowing all over the place, and I want to understand if pencil actually did that.
Yeah, it's pencil and charcoal. Yes, please.
First, the first question I was supposed to ask all of you was, how does it feel to be God's special children? Because this one, it doesn't come from do you guys feel special? Like, you feel like, nah, I'm different. Like, because not everybody can do this. Do you feel that sometimes?
Yeah.
You do? Yeah.
Get it.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
You should. Because if I had half of what you people have right now, like, I'll have my shoulders all over. Like, you can't talk to me anyhow. But do you think that artists in Ghana, in terms of those who do this drawing and what you do, Sage, do you think they are being appreciated enough here in Ghana?
Not really, and I think it's for the fact that Ghana is a developing country,
Okay.
and art is being is being perceived as for the rich, which is not.
I can agree to that.
Yeah, so I think with sculpture, it speaks for the fact that it's not just for the rich,
Yeah.
because you can see it in the middle of the street. Yeah, so it's more or less just educating people, and also it could be a form of entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So art is not for the rich alone. Some of you, except that I think I understand why some people would want to say that, because sometimes the paintings, when you go and ask the price, if you don't have some money, there's a certain level of money that you have to want to spend on such an art. And Miriam agrees with me. Sometimes the arts are pretty, the artworks you people have out there are pretty expensive. I guess that's why. But why is it so expensive? Let me ask you. Why is it so expensive?
It's because of the time and efforts put into it.
But there's time and effort put in everything. You put your own special time and effort. To you, Solomon, King Solomon, is this career path for you lucrative?
It's a part-time something.
Okay, you don't
Yeah.
do it full time.
Yeah, I don't do it.
So when you,
full-time.
but if you would you ever decide to do it full time? And why are you doing it part time again?
Okay. Right now, I have other things that I'm into.
You're into
Into business.
yeah, okay.
I ain't sell.
You're a businessman.
Minded person,
You're a big businessman, so you want to do this one part time.
Yeah.
Interesting. But Sage, but is it lucrative though?
It is. I think it's more seasonal.
I love that. That's very honest.
Yeah. So it depends on what form of art that you produce, and I think art is basically like resolving problems.
Yeah.
So when people that actually needs it are gonna reach out to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, do you think that we're going to get to a point where Ghanaians will generally spend a lot of money on accepting or celebrating this career path of yours?
We're just hoping so. Africans, we don't like supporting art.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a general problem. Not
It's an
only in
African
Ghana.
thing.
Yeah.
Oh. You know some of the greatest artists are all Africans, right?
Yes, yes. Like they are Bloody Glovers and the other people.
Yeah. So we'll get there.
You get this. Small
Is it discouraging sometimes?
Yeah, it's discouraging sometimes when someone commissions you sometimes and you charges the person will be like, you are just using pencil and pen and you are charging me that much. And they don't know the efforts and the time that will be spent on the work,
Yeah.
sleepless nights and the other things.
So it's very discouraging.
Yeah.
Miriam, you're probably the youngest on the panel now, and you seem to be having a lot of fun doing it. Do you see yourself doing this full time at some point in your life growing up?
Yes, I
You
do.
don't want to do anything else.
I do want to do something else, but I feel like eventually that's what I'm
That's
going
where
to
you're going to go.
like be stuck at it and do it forever.
Okay.
But I also want to go into architecture as well.
Of course, it's the same line, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah. So you're sorted in that space. But sometimes, I mean, for a day like this where we put aside World Art Day, what does it mean to you as an individual who's in the space?
I feel like it's an opportunity for artists like myself to share our voices and to connect with everyone in the world. And it's truly something to like appreciate.
Appreciate. Awesome, Sage. So this year, as we're celebrating World Arts Day, if you're asked to change something, now we have a very vibrant Ghana Tourism Authority. We have, I think 2 days ago, I saw the National Film Authority video B with Madame Kafui Danko trying to renovate, was it Accra Cinema? Yeah, they're going to make it Accra Cinema because it used to be Rock Cinema or something like that. They're going to do all of that. They are making efforts in those areas. I haven't seen anything in your space. What would you recommend to the government if you are asked to make a recommendation with regards to how they could support in making your sector not so seasonal?
I would say Ghanaians are really buying into art gradually.
Okay.
With Mindspace, I always find it like very inspiring, and it brings me a lot of comfort whenever I see sculptures mounted in the middle of the cities. It's rare, but then it's always been there, and it's been part of Ghana culture. So I would love to see my work in the future somewhere in the middle of the street.
In the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Like you put Mahama somewhere.
Yeah.
Or you put. I think we have to do one for the vice president, Madam Jane, because she's the first female vice president, and I think something like monumental like that should be done for her. So you propose it to them. Let's see how we can get it done. Anywho, so today we're celebrating World Arts Day, and right here with me we have Miriam, Sage, and King Solomon. They are incredible artists, but they are doing different things in the same space. Sometimes when I meet the young people in poetry, coming together, creating groups, what do they call that thing they do? Clubs, where they get to do their poetry thing to each other. So it's just all poets in a room, just saying, since nobody wants to come. And there are a few poetry lovers, but they try to create clubs to support each other. When it comes to this, artists in Ghana, do you people have a club, an association, or something like that supports you? I'm not going to ask Miriam. I'm sure Miriam doesn't even know. If there's even one, nobody has reached out there. Let me ask Sage. Maybe.
I've seen a couple, but then I think they are more selective. And I could say it's just based on a group of artists who have already made it that sort of like group themselves. There is a Ghana Art Club. I tried to join some time back, but I didn't see the significance of joining it because I would say you barely get the informations when being put out there and all those things. That makes it
a club.
It brings limitation. Yeah. So I think we personally pushes ourselves most times as artists in Ghana, though there are groups. Yeah. So we would love to reach out to the groups as well, but then it's falling short anyway.
Hey, I felt that one. King Solomon, how about you? Are you part of any association, group, or club?
I don't even know what to say. Okay, I've been part of a club before. I think way back at the University of Education, we used to have an association called Arts Society.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on UW campus here. They used to support us in exhibitions and other things. But since I completed, I've not joined any association.
So you do solo exhibitions?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Have you had your first exhibition yet?
Yeah, I had my first exhibition.
How was it?
It was really nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
People
really
came
liked
to
it.
buy.
No,
You didn't buy?
not yet.
You came to watch. Don't worry, they'll buy very soon.
Yeah, it was
amazing.
Really nice.
It was really nice.
Yeah, with Gallery Salk, much.
Okay. Interesting. I think so far so good. Our conversation has taken us around the business aspect of it. Now let's talk about into details the business aspect of it. How do you price? How do you stay competitive? How do you make sure you stay afloat out of season? How do you do that? I'm going to start with you, Sage.
Actually, I price my art based on the size and how complicated the work could be, and also the medium being used, and the time duration and the scale as well.
Okay.
So, and sometimes it depends on who is buying the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could gift out a work that could actually bring out a bigger contract. So, I normally, my art was just meant for me. I was doing this miniatures just to like keep myself working, like consistency. So that was the reason why I kept doing these miniatures, but I actually build like life size works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, with other mediums as well. So based on what the clients want, it's what determine the price.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I like that. How about you? What determines the price for you?
Madam, based on the size and
Yeah.
the time that was
Um,
spent on the
Yeah. So if you have to do something like this, how much will you sell it for? This one with the water. I mean, this one with the water.
Okay, and how realistic you want the work to?
Oh, so
it's
you
based
can
on that.
actually make it look as real as the,
Like as a picture, like.
and
if
the
you want
more
it to be
realistic it
real.
becomes, the more expensive it
Yes,
becomes.
please.
How about you, ma'am? How about you?
For me, I've never like sold any of my works, but yeah, but it depends on the size and the effort and the amount of the number of days used
Yes.
in the
Yeah, I
work.
think.
Yeah, and also it depends on who is buying it,
Yeah.
because you can't like sell an art piece to for a very high amount to someone who is not like really willing to pay.
Willing to pay. You will pay. Oh. No, I have to be your business manager. On the other hand, but I can understand you considering the economical,
yeah.
situation of an individual before you sell to them. But that also will mean that you put not less work, but you put more work in one who's paying for more,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I agree. I agree. That's not a bad business model. That's not a bad business model. I'm
Not
telling
bad.
you, it's not bad, crap. But anywho, so today again, right here on the platform, I'm telling you about we celebrating World Art Day here on the AM Club, and we have Sage, who's a creative artist. We have Miriam, who is an oil paint artist, and we have King Solomon, who is a visual artist. I'm told. What you say again? You have to come back with that. Okay, Solomon says he has a surprise for us.
Yeah, I
Is
have
that
a
a surprise?
surprise. Yeah, I have a surprise for Afinuna,
Afi
the one who
Nuna.
discovered me. Yeah.
Oh, she discovered you.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, so we have a
So,
special
right.
one. Where is she? Are we going to present it here?
Yeah.
Team, are we presenting it here? Or we're going to do it outside? Okay, so Afi Nuna discovered you.
Yes.
Tell me about that discovery.
Okay. We met on social media. I think WhatsApp or Facebook or something. I don't know.
Okay. Oh,
We were talking. I think last year, somewhere June or something.
yeah? Oh, lovely. That's actually very impressive. Awesome, 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 awesome. So where's the art?
That work is here.
Okay. So this is an artwork that is supposed to be presented to the host of Event Guide here on MX24. So we're going to bring her on, and you will get to present that to her.
Okay, no problem.
Okay. Let me see his face. It's my show. I will see his face.
Should I help you to open it, or you open it yourself?
I want to suffer and open it.
It's like you are
By the
stressing
time
yourself.
she gets here, then my suffering will end. Instead of tearing it apart, I'm going to move it piece by piece.
Okay.
So, King Solomon is telling us a very fascinating story about one of our colleagues here who discovered him. And he obviously came, something
Or you
my
can
father-
just open it from the top, then you pull it out.
Don't worry, I want to suffer.
Okay.
I told you I want to suffer. I want to suffer to open this thing. So there's something I always say that my father taught me, and he taught me at a very, very young age, that ingratitude is a killer. So he says that even if someone gives you something small, you have to. My father said that I'm sure he said that when I was like 6 or 7, I'm sure. Because I remember I was very young, but this thing has stayed with me for a very, very, very long time. Anytime I feel like I'm being ungrateful to someone, I remember that I will die. And even at this age, I believe that ingratitude is still a killer. And so, Solomon, what you have done is really beautiful.
Thank
and
you.
I'm sure that there's people watching today and they'll see your heart and you get more support. I said, I'm suffering and going. Watch me. So, Afi Nuna, how do we bring her on? How do we bring her on? Team, please get Afi Nuna to come on set for Solomon to present this beautiful artwork. He wants me to tear it apart, but I said, me, I will suffer for this thing. I will. Ah, this is so cool. It's so pretty. Oh, okay. Okay, now we have a reason to encourage this girl to be a good girl. That's all. That's all. That is all. Encouragement. Ah, this is so nice. Guys, bring me Afinuna. Bring me Afinuna. She has. Ah, this is absolutely beautiful. Okay, guys, find a way to bring me Afinuna. I want to show you. I want to show you. I want to show you.
You
But
know
great
something.
job.
You know something.
Yeah.
You're also becoming very soon. You're also a good girl.
I'm a good girl.
Yeah.
I'm a good woman. This one looks like. What does it look like? Blue pen.
It's a pen, yeah. I used
Hey! Wow!
I used
Oh, this is really nice. So I've given you, I've given you, you know, terms, a little something about how it looks like. But guys, this is really nice and great job.
Thank you.
Great job done. You didn't bring me anything to stage. You should have designed a whole something because you're coming to me. Yes. Oh yes, of course, of course, of course. Please. Okay. So Afi can come on set. You people will hear her voice next year, but this one she's coming to receive her beautiful art, and I think that it's only fair that we do it over here. Okay. So people, bring me Afi, bring me Afi, bring me Afi, bring me Afi, bring me Afi. Hey. Chesa, what for you? Drop my Afro. What you do? So you cannot talk because microphones are okay. So. Gentlemen, unveiling is done, guys. You get to see it first. This is the beautiful work done by King Solomon for Afinuna. I think this is adorable. So Solomon,
should I stand or I should sit?
Oh, please. Let me hold the microphone small and present it to her. You can go to the back and give it to her at the back. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
This is so cute. This is so beautiful. Ah. Continue being a good girl, you get more painting. Thank you. Oh, Solomon, this is really kind. This is really kind.
Sorry.
So that is Afinuna. She's host of Events Guide. She's also a producer here, and she's an incredible young lady. Great job. Congratulations once again. Now, to you out there, thank you so much for being a part of the show. Gentlemen and lady, your final words before we go. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so very much for having us all. It really means a lot to me and to
The gentleman you hope. Thank you so much, as well, Sage.
I really appreciate the fact that I'm here right now, and I'm much thankful.
We are also very thankful. And King Solomon.
Okay, I thank God Almighty. Thank Apostle James Atta.
Awesome.
Nico Sketches, Nico Scope, Cheesecake, and my sister Abna Abigail Mausi for supporting my art all the time.
Awesome.
I love you guys. Bravi Smack, I love you.
Yay.
My daddy at Sugakope, Mr. Kulu Samson, I love you too.
Thank you so much. Now to everyone, and I think this is an area that, like I said earlier, it's not overlooked, but it needs more support. And so these young men and the incredible work they're doing, if you employ them, pay them. It's expensive to actually have an artwork done for you, an art done for you. So pay for it if you are interested, and just let's keep supporting them. And great job. I think all the things that you do are really, really incredible, and we wish you all the very best. We're praying that we see you at the top. Okay, and so support an artist today. In fact, if you cannot support them financially, just send them some nice message, celebrate them, celebrate an artist you know today, because they're doing an incredible job. We'll be right back after the short commercial break.